This is the King's Court on Arena Sportsnet, presented by American Grappler.
I've got more swagger than Mick Jagger, more sex appeal than Vince Neil.
All guests from all walks of life share their time with the King of Connecticut.
They are dreaming of just one night with a man such as myself.
Any and everything goes.
I am the King of Connecticut. I was raised with class and sophistication.
And now, from Norwalk, Connecticut, weighing in at 230 pounds, if George Clooney had muscles, they'd call him the King of Connecticut. The one, the only, Matt Granahan.
It is the pernicious purveyor of preposterous pomposity, manipulating the minuscule minds of the masses of miscreants. And as I talk to you tonight from King's Castle, I am getting ready to embark on a trip to the CLC in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm flying out there tomorrow to stretch some punks like rubber bands, as they say, in a squared circle with my tag team partner, the UFC and Pride superstar, New York badass Bill Baroni, at the Silver Dollar Casino Saturday night. In addition to seeing some old friends out there in the city of sin, Las Vegas, the King has been going out to Las Vegas, Nevada since 1993, where I met a young lady at the Hard Rock Hotel Pool and Casino. Again, this is going back to 1993. Met a young lady that was quite smitten with the King, with the young version of the King, and she became known years later to many of you as Baywatch star Donna D'Erico. She and I met back there in 93, and we hit it off, and sparks flew, and oh my, if you're listening to the show, Donna D'Erico, I still remember you. And that's going to have to be the song for tonight. Because every episode is going to have its own song. And this song is going to have to be Skid Row. I remember you. And I want to dedicate that to Donna D'Erico if you're out there listening tonight. Now I have a very unique and special guest on the King's Court tonight. This young man, I'm gonna tell you how I reignited my friendship with this young man. I was out on the Redneck Riviera in Myrtle Beach, South Kakalaki, about 2 months ago, and I was sitting at a bar across the street from Coastal Carolina University. And as you know, in addition to being a pugilist and a host of the greatest show on earth, I am also a purveyor of the finest beers and wines in the Kakalakis. And I was sitting there enjoying a brewski, and in walked this young man. And he came up to me and he said, "Are you Granimal? Is that the Granimal? Is that Granimal?" And I said, "In the flesh, Daddy-O," as I met this young man, and I remembered him right away because he was one of the finest warriors at Shaddock MMA up in Sykesville, Maryland, where we've done some wrestling clinics back in the day. And this young man is named Kyle Nicholson. How you doing tonight, Kyle? What's going on there? Oh man, I'm just rocking and rolling and strutting and strolling as usual. I'm sipping on another Otra Vez from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, the fine Goza, and we were sipping on some delicious brews that night in Myrtle Beach on the Redneck Riviera. Now, Kyle, I want to talk to you a little bit about Shaddock MMA and your experiences fighting out of there. But before I do, tell people a little bit about yourself introduce yourself to the audience here at King's Court, Kyle.
My name's Kyle Nicholson. Matt's my buddy, and I'm on this show. And I live in Myrtle Beach, so I ran into him at the bar. He's from Riviera, Nevada, or whatever kind of beer he was delivering there. And then next thing you know, it's midnight and we're drinking tequila. And I don't think any girls fell off in the bar, but they met the naughty professor.
Absolutely. Well, we're across the street from a college. We're across the street from Coastal Carolina University. And I had a long day. It started out seeing accounts out in Pawleys Island, was ending the day there on the way back home to the King's Castle. And there were some young ladies there from the college. And I said, Kyle, young man, just follow my lead. And I went up to these ladies and I introduced them. I said, weren't you in my chemistry class? And that was how we got started. That was how we got started with the ladies down there on the Redneck Riviera, Kyle. And that was a fun night, Kyle. And I want to ask you this question. Have you been back to that bar? Because we're going to talk about what happened there. Have you been back there?
Yeah, I had to apologize.
Indeed. Because I'll tell you what happened. Because I know Kyle just through helping coach him with the clinics, but I talked to his main coaches, to Rob McCraw and John Shaddock, when he was fighting in MMA, and they're two good friends of mine, Rob McCraw and John Shaddock. And I said, what can you tell me about Kyle Nicholson? Because I said, things got kind of crazy that night. So what can you tell me about him? And they said, Kyle is insane. He is nuts. And they said that kid, he will pick a fight with anybody. And they also were talking about what an ass kicker you were in the cage when you were fighting for them. But they said, beyond being an ass kicker in the cage, they said, if Kyle gets out there to the bars, it's on like Donkey Kong. He's kicking ass and taking names. And that does not surprise me, or did not surprise me after the evening that we had, Kyle. And I'm gonna attempt to tell the story as the evening progressed. And I was actually the professor, the naughty professor, was actually doing some extracurricular learning to a couple of the young students there, Coastal Carolina. And I see out of the corner of my eye. And this is right coming close to closing time. I see Kyle in the kitchen smacking the chef in the head. And I'm saying, what in the world is he doing? He's over in the kitchen. He's causing all kinds of problems. He is having a good time, is what he's doing. And in being the naughty professor, I wanted to stay professional, kind of stay focused. And I stayed focused, my eyes focused on the young lady. And I didn't think much of it. But the next thing I know, it takes about 6 or 7 guys to try to escort Kyle out of the bar. And they're attempting to escort him out of the bar, and he's fending them off. And I didn't really like what I saw, so one of the guys was getting a little mouthy, and they get out there towards the patio area where there's tables and there's chairs. And I see this one guy, while Kyle's being held by other guys, trying to shove him down unnecessarily. So I'll tell you this, I went from being a naughty professor to being the booty kicker, and I went out there and I gave that guy what we call in wrestling a little snap down and chicken wing, and I tossed him on his head, and he went flying through a table, and next thing you know, they're screaming and yelling, "Who are you? You're going to be arrested." I grabbed Kyle by the shirt, and I said, "You get the hell out of here." And then I raised my voice as only I can, and I basically told them to back the F off. And me and Kyle, we got out of Dodge, and that that was a fun night there on the Redneck Riviera. But you know, the real losers in that, the real losers in me and Kyle leaving that bar were the young ladies from Coastal Carolina University, because they missed out on the opportunity to spend a night with the two studliest men on the Redneck Riviera. Isn't that right, Kyle Nicholson?
That's right.
Well, Kyle, I am doing too much of the talking on this show tonight. I want to give you the floor. I want you to talk about your old coaches, our good buddies. Let's start with John Shaddock. Talk about the Bones man himself, John Shaddock, Kyle.
Bones, he's a cool dude. He's like definitely a fighting coach, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, well, talk about some experiences you had with him at the school, training with John for your fight.
Well, probably my best experience of fighting life was we were driving down to the fight in Virginia, and I was riding in the very, very back of the Suburban. We got like 7, 8 guys up in the very back eating goldfish. And we're about halfway there to Virginia, and he's like, yells in the back. He's driving, yells in the back while he's holding up. Oh, hey, Kyle, you want to fight? And I've been training for like 25 days. And it's like, you want to fight? I'm like, I guess. Somehow I weighed exactly 155. And he put me in the ring and wrapped me up, him and Rob. Let me go at it with somebody for 3 rounds.
You know, I looked at this story, and I want to expound upon that because some of the listeners might not understand how this works. So you were riding there, basically just riding along to support the team. You weren't booked to fight that night. And when you're booked to fight, you got to go through a whole fighting camp and all that. You hadn't gone through a fighting camp at all. You were just riding along. You'd been going to the school. They knew that you were a young badass. So John said, hey, you know, you want to take this fight because apparently whatever happened to the other gentleman that was supposed to, and you stepped up and took it. And that shows a level of toughness, Kyle, that is extremely admirable.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
And I was talking, so I talked to Rob McCraw about you too, and I got the same rap, the same story. They said that is one tough kid. He is tough as nails. Talk about Rob McCraw.
Rob McCraw was probably never even done MMA. He didn't help coach. He just real inspiring when he talked to me about different stuff. I don't know how to explain it. Like after you know, working out class or whatever, we go outside and talk for 45 minutes, an hour about just different stuff. You know, all about fighting. And just, you know, I said he helped make me a better person. Sure.
He helped make you a better fighter. He helped make you a better person. And we're going to have Rob on the show probably in the second season. I work for Rob also in the capacity of a broadcaster because he runs a Strikeoff now. Strikeoff Fighting Championships runs out of the Eagle Bank Arena, you know, up there in Fairfax, Virginia. I worked with the NBC Sports Go Fight Live team to do commentary and post-fight interviews with his brand a couple times and some big shows up there, really big shows. And Rob is a great guy. So where are you now? You are obviously on the Redneck Riviera, but you're not down there for MMA.
I got to say,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Bob, I had to say another story about Bones. One time we went up to Philadelphia, drove like 2 hours, 3 hours, and Bones, he's like, we're going to this freaking thing, had it planned to go see Cowboy Cerrone and Leonard Garcia up there for a seminar, and somehow, somewhere I had to get my wisdom teeth out 3 days before, or 2 days before the seminar, so I got them out. And then we're up there, and I'm like, you know, he's saying, you know, go light on your stuff so it doesn't start bleeding everywhere. So I'm like, all right. Next thing you know, we're in the seminar, and I get paired with Bones. And he's like, we're like, you know, standing up, we're about to spar a little bit. Next thing you know, it's live, and he just cracks me. was cracked me right in the grill. I'm like, damn, but he's like, keep your hands up, boom, boom, hit me again in my mouth. I just had my wisdom teeth out. So we were just kept sparring, and it didn't matter.
That was what Bill Wright meant for the Bones Man, was to crack him with those heavy hands of his, those big soup bones that he's got. Now, let's talk about where you are. Before we end this show, you're on the Redneck Riviera. We had on the show, I got an opportunity to spend the day at the beach with the lovely Cajun, Miss Andy Wynn, King of the Cage champion. Many would say, and I would agree, the hottest woman in MMA. And after a day at the beach, we got a chance to go and work out at Fitness Edge MMA, which is her gym where she trains out of now, right outside of Myrtle Beach in Conway. And I told her, because she said, King, King, I'm spending the day with you, and you know how it is. She spent the day with the King, so she had all kinds of feelings she was starting to develop for me. And she said, do you know any guys around here that are good guys that you could introduce me to out here on the Redneck Riviera? Because, you live several hours away. And I said, yes. I said, yes, I do. I know a young man named Kyle Nicholson. And I'm going to have him go to meet you at Fitness Edge MMA. So I'm giving you the hookup right now with quite possibly the hottest woman in combat sports, Kyle.
Is she on here right now?
No, she's not on the line. But I'm sure she'll be listening. What would you have to say to her, Kyle, before we close out the show?
I said, look forward to meeting you.
Absolutely. Kyle, you are a gentleman. You are a gentleman. You are a true Southern gentleman, and it has been a pleasure to have you on the show. Kyle Nicholson, everybody, and at the top of the hour, we have Kyle. We talked about him. We have the Bones Man himself coming on the show, John Shaddock. Kyle, thank you. Have a great night, my man.
You too.
This is Arena Sportsnet, bringing the spotlight back to the student athlete.
He pumps and throws one deep down the sideline, pitches open. He's got it inside the 35 to the 32-yard line.
Oh, yeah! Drops the throw. Pressure coming in. He is sacked! And on the sack is Belton. John Melton. Woo-hoo!
Ball on the right hash. Snap to Hall. A pump. He throws. Pinson's running free. He's got it! Touchdown! Oh, what a catch! What a catch!
Gets the snap and looks to throw. Pumps and throws. Ordway's open. Leaping grab made inside the 40. Down to the 36-yard line. Out of a shotgun formation again with Elliott to the left of Anderson. He throws a fade for... Oh, what a catch! What a catch! One-handed catch by Dylan Tack! The Hawaiian Tack has it! Touchdown! Oh, yeah! Now finds Logan James. Ball free! Ball still free! Still free! Peels has it! Peels shoots! Scores! And the Blazers have tied it! Mitchell holds and looks. Starts to dribble with the left hand. Gives it back to Zeke. Fazekas fakes. Finds Peels. A three! Yes! Tie game! Tie game! Woohoo! He'll unload a three. He hits it! He hits it! Malcolm Reed hits a three! Awesome. Oh, yeah! The pitch. A swing and a drive in the deep right field. This may do it. That ball is going, gone. Goodbye! Woohoo! And the pitch to McKinney. A swing and a drive in the deep left field. Goodbye. That ball is gone! Are you kidding me? And the pitch. A swing and a drive in the deep right field. Going, gone. Goodbye. Here in Hebron. The pitch to Patrick. A swung on and hit in the deep right field. That ball is going, gone. Goodbye. Oh, yeah! Expand your brand during the 2016-2017 play-by-play story on Arena Sportsnet.
At South Lake Body Auto Shop at 7991 Clay Street in Maryville, Indiana, we have a full-service mechanic repair shop for all makes and models of cars and trucks. At the same location, we have a body shop in which we do body repair and paint work on semis, as well as all makes and models of cars and trucks. Our hours are 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and Saturday from 8 to 3. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-947-9900. That's 219-947-9900, or visit SouthLakeBodyAutoSales.com.
ArenaSportsNet.com is your one-stop shop for everything sports, from the NFL to the NBA, National Hockey League, Major League Baseball, soccer, MMA, and lots more. Check out our live play-by-play action from high school and college sports and a little professional on the side. ArenaSportsNet.com, where every fan has a voice.
At Cleaver Supplements, we have natural supplements such as our Super Fat Burner, our Carnitine Stack, the famous Swole Serum for your workouts, and much more. Visit cleaversupplements.com for all information. Our team is excited to provide you with an impeccable online shopping experience and remain available to assist at any time. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to contact us via telephone or email, and one of our experienced team members will get back to you. Cleaver Supplements, pure supplements for when genetics are just not enough.
It is the pernicious purveyor of preposterous pomposity, manipulating the minuscule minds of the masses of miscreants. We are back here on King's Court. We just had Kyle Nicholson on, and we are joined by the Bones Man himself, John, the original Bones Shaddock, who was Kyle Nicholson's coach and inspiration in MMA, but also captain of the team of fighting championships, and he has got a lot of stories to tell. Before I introduce John, I want to say that I met this man about 10 years ago now. Was up with the Prince of Persia himself, Kamal Shalarus, doing a clinic for Shaddock MMA in Sykesville, Maryland, which is John's dojo, and have had a great friendship with this guy. He is an amazing coach, a great boxer, and he has retired more men, I would say, than any other fighter in mixed martial arts, because he has literally challenged the who's who of MMA, and it seems that they all back down from my guest, John, the original Bones, Shaddock. How you doing tonight, John?
All right, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I am doing great. Well, we just mentioned that we had Kyle on, so I want to give him a quick shout-out. And before we get started, you mentioned you had a funny story to tell about Kyle.
Yeah, funny and true. This was years ago, before MMA regulations were as tight as they were. And I won't mention the affiliation we were dealing with, but we're driving to a fight. I've got a car full of guys, and Kyle had just started with us. He hadn't fought at all. And I get a phone call, and he says, do you have anybody about 155 in the car with you? And I turn around, I go, Kyle, how much you weigh? He's like, I got about 155. And I said, the guy said, does he want to fight? And I asked Kyle if he wants to fight. He said, sure. So we pull him to Dick. We get him a mouth guard and a cup. And the kid has not trained for this fight at all. He goes in and beats this kid and got fight of the night honor. Great fight, and he's just a really hard-nosed kid that just likes to fight. I mean, he was kind of a street fighter, but man, it was funny. Just having this kid pick out his cup and mouth guard and Dick's. I never seen. We had to pull him to McDonald's and have him give us boiling hot water so he could do his mouth guard and everything. It was just comedy. It was funny.
And it doesn't matter with young Kyle, and he's going to kind of become a legend, I think, on this show, because it doesn't matter whether it is the cage, the ring, the barroom, wherever it is, he is down for the fight. We told some funny stories about him out on the Redneck Riviera that were pretty humorous, and I could just imagine, I've only hung out with Kyle a few times, I could just imagine what it would be like. I mean, he almost needs his own reality show. And speaking of reality shows, and speaking of celebrities, Bones, man, you have called out so many guys to fight you over the course of years. I remember you and I were guests together on the Outlaws show, Outlaw Sports Radio, and I did a very colorful call out to one Steven Seagal. Still waiting to hear back from you, Seagal. Still waiting to hear back from you. You're probably still stuck at the all-you-can-eat buffet at the Golden Corral, Seagal. You never got back to me with my challenge. But John has called out Bob Sapp. He's called out our good buddy Dan the Beast Severed. He's called out so many guys, and nobody seems to want to answer your challenge, folks, man. Why is that?
Oh, I don't know, man. What's actually funny is that the reality is that the latest guy that we had actually tried to get on what's called the UR show, or UR Fight, which you were somewhat affiliated with.
Of course, yeah.
And I was interested in fighting Roy and just seeing how it would do against one of the obviously all-time greats. But he's on the downslide of his career. Him and I are the same age, so.
Roy Jones Jr., everybody. Let everybody know you're talking about Roy Jones Jr. People may not know
Jr. And it's supposedly they're going to have a UR show too. So if I get my video on there, and if they allow me to attempt, because I didn't even make the top 4. If they allow me to attempt, I'd like to get as many votes as I can. Hopefully, get it on with Roy Jones. It'd just be fun. Before I turn 50, I think I'm definitely 100% retired at that point.
Well, let's talk about you. Got a great career in combat sports, and let's talk a little bit about that. From starting out in amateur wrestling to your Golden Belts boxing career, to obviously getting involved in the grappling arts. I want to talk about TFC. We don't want to bore a lot of people because this is not really a fighting behind-the-scenes show. It's more of an entertainment product. But talk briefly about your career in combat sports that led you to TFC.
You want to talk about the TFC, yes?
I want to get into TFC, but before I do, I want to introduce you to the audience. Your background, a lot of people may not know, with boxing and amateur wrestling.
So I have 3 older brothers that were all state champs in wrestling, and we actually had wrestling mats in our garage. So at age 3, I actually was competing in TV tournaments, and instead of going away on summer vacation, me and my brothers, our parents would load up the station wagon. We'd drive up and down the East Coast wrestling in tournaments. And, loved it, but got to a point where I got in high school where I just didn't enjoy it anymore. I got burnt out. And my brother Chris came home one day, and he had gone down to a local boxing gym and started sparring. And I followed suit, and then my other brothers followed, and all of us got into Golden Gloves boxing, and was a 2-time finalist in the Golden Gloves, and then I won the New England Diamond Belt Championships in boxing. And then decided I wanted to change something else and got into Shorin-ryu karate and started doing some kickboxing. Did a kickboxing fight against my brother, which is kind of a funny sport. And then over the years, I've done Aikido, I've done Jiu-Jitsu, I've done Gaijin-ryu Jiu-Jitsu, which is more like a Japanese style of Jiu-Jitsu. I've done Jeet Kune Do, so throughout my life, just fallen into the martial arts one way or the other. Plus, I got about 10 years of bouncing experience, so that helped me out a lot too.
It does. And like I say, tell a quick talk about bouncing, and I tell some funny bouncing stories myself, because I did some bouncing back in Connecticut, and I used to be a bouncer for a club that was the funk now called the Zebra Club, which was kind of notorious for it was a ballet, as we call in the show, a ballet. And I used to take the ballet dancers to private homes, and being in Connecticut, it was hilarious because a lot of times you'd have these homes, and you get there, and I was so jacked up for this thing. I mean, because I got to guard the girls. I think somebody's going to attack the girls. I had my carry permit at that time, so I had a weapon on me, and I was so jacked up. Something was going to happen to these girls. So I bring these Brazilian girls And most of the time, it was these wealthy kids in Wilton or Richfield, Connecticut, that had hired the girls to come out there because their parents were away. So you got a bunch of snot-nosed rich kids, you know, that are there, and it's usually like a mixture. So there's really no danger. There was really no danger, you know, in my brief bouncing career, but had a lot of fun, and they were mostly Brazilian ballet dancers, which anyone who knows the Brazilian women, we talked about Anna Gracie on this show. They are a lot of fun. So I had a good time. Tell us about your bouncing experience, Bones, man, because I know you've been a bouncer. Any fun stories you have from that time of your life?
And quite a few stories. People just, I wasn't particularly a big guy. I'm a lot bigger now than when I was bouncing. I started bouncing, I was about 130 pounds. I was a bar backslash bouncer, and then as I grew up at the bar, because back then you drinking age was 18 in Vermont, and then I got up to about 170, but still not very big compared to what was coming in. And
God, you're like 240, 250 at least now.
Yeah. So basically, when you're bouncing, we were bouncing near a ski resort, so nobody comes by themselves. They go skiing. They bring 5 or 6 of their buddies. So me and my brother had taken on football teams before, and just, you know, I remember one time we had an instance in the bar, and you know, we got guys that are like 230, 240 at the time, and my brother and I are roughly about 170. And needless to say, we handled the situation without getting too graphic about it, but we go down, and the police commissioner is kind of chewing us out. And, you know, he's like, well, I don't know if I can charge these guys because they're all beat up, and you guys are, you know, you don't have a mark on you. And we're looking at them like, what are we supposed to do? I'm not going to wrestle this kid that, you know, these guys are like ripped and all roided out and jacked up. I'm like, no, I mean, I'm not going to get hit. We take care of business. But it was kind of funny. But we had quite a few instances. I had an instance where when I first started bouncing, 18, I think I was like 140 pounds. And there was this real big guy on the dance floor. And he goes out, and you know, rule was no bottles on the floor. It was a real, like, upscale thing. And I'm in my little tux, and I'm, again, like I said, I'm about 140 pounds, soaking wet. And this guy starts grabbing this girl, and I go out there, tell me, he pushes me, and I'm like, all right. And I shot a double leg takedown, so he would have been proud of me. Shot a double leg.
Good job, bro.
This guy that's probably about 230, I take him down on the ground. Right in front, and what's funny is it was this video club. This is back when the videos were, you know, VH1 and
yeah.
And they got, and all the cameras on the dance floor, and so everybody in the club is seeing this on the big screen go around this thing, and then every big guy that when my friends are in the club comes around, the guy looks up, and this little guy just takes him down, and every big guy's got a hold of him. He just got up and walked out of the bar.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. You know, when I was bouncing the Zebra Club, there's only a couple times where we had to remove people, and you know, the thing with Zebra, when I was bouncing, I was more like customer service, like how you doing, you know, if there was a problem with a girl, if the girl needed money, I really smooth, you know, the salesman like. There was a couple of times where we had to remove people, and I remember one time, it was this older, I'm thinking he was probably about 50 years old, and I was like 22, you know, at the time. Older guy, and he comes out, and he tries to swing the bottle at me, his beer bottle at me, and it ended up being, which would have been, and you can notice, you obviously know all the techniques, it would have just been all reaction, where all I did was grab his tricep with my left hand, grab his neck like a collar tie with my right hand, and just pulled him right in. And then when he pulled him in, and this was the thing, whenever I had to try to remove people, would have been just like a cross face, come across his face with one hand, grab across your wrist with the other. You know, keep that pressure up underneath his armpit, pull him in, and then just kind of crank his neck and walk him to the door. And then when you walk him to the door, kind of just give him a shove, you know, out the door. But don't hurt him, you know, don't throw him, you know, because you don't want to be sued, you know, in that situation too. You know, so it's crazy, man. You know, you think about the bouncers, like most of the time as a bouncer, you don't do anything. But when something does go down, and you know, you gotta be ready. You got to be ready for that. And that all prepared you for what I want to talk to you about. The boxing and bouncing and wrestling, amateur wrestling. I want to talk about this thing because I'll bet you most of our listeners don't even know. And there's probably a good bit to do. The team fighting championships, because this is a fascinating sport. It's really not MMA. It's its own thing. Talk about team fighting championships. How did you get involved in it? You got some crazy stories to tell, because that was not shot here in the United States.
No, the team fighting championships was actually in Latvia, which is very close to Russia and Sweden. It's right in inner Europe. But basically, apparently it's been around for years. It's what they call team fighting or sport fighting, where they get clans together to fight over different territory or whatnot, and it's become a sport where countries go and they fight each other. And it takes elements of MMA, such as, you know, you can use submissions, you can strike. The rules are very similar to people that are familiar with MMA know Pride, where you could kick the guy on the ground. It used to be where you could stomp the head, but we took that one out. Knees to the head on the ground. It's pretty violent, but basically it's kind of like an organized street fight where you have 5 people and you go and you fight. And if you just watch some of the fights, it looks very brutal with no organization. But I fought for Team USA, and I was actually on the English team as well, and I helped coach, and I almost had the fight now, but that's a whole nother story. But, and both teams had different strategies. It wasn't just guys going out and winging punches. There was actually a strategy to the fighting, and guys that were skilled. It wasn't, a lot of people were saying, you know, these guys had no skills. The guy that I ended up fighting actually wrestled in. You had some really high-level fighters fighting in this thing, and you know, but everybody was respectful. Referees, they had 10 people fighting in the ring, but they also had 5 referees, so 1 referee for every 2 combatants that were fighting. So
A lot of Eastern European fighters, so you're going to have a lot of really good international wrestlers mixed in there.
Absolutely. Russia and Latvia and Poland in particular were some of the top teams, and they had very good boxers and very good wrestlers. Some of the teams, like the Swedish team, was primarily strikers. They got kind of taken out. And there was a strategy. You wanted to put your guy on the ground, but remember that you could have another guy coming behind you and kicking you in the head. So you had to be aware of where you were on the ground. You had to have a team strategy. If you didn't, you got wiped out. I fought on the first United States team, and it was actually something I had seen on the internet. And for kind of shits and giggles, I emailed the guy and said, "Would you entertain a USA team?" And they didn't hear anything. And like 3 months later, I got an email from the guy saying, "Hey, put a team together." So I called up the gentleman that was a promoter, and he got together a group of guys from Ohio and myself, and we all flew out and fought. It was crazy. It was fun though. We got to, got treated like kings. We got taken around, toured of the city. They put us.
What city? What city was that, John?
It was in Riga, Latvia, capital.
So you're in Latvia. And man, you told me some funny stories, because there was a backstory to this, but you can talk about it. But weren't a couple of the guys wearing masks, and why were they doing that?
What's funny is first I'll tell a story that kind of leads up to that. we were shown the Hotel Riga, which is like a really, really, really nice hotel. And, you know, it had like the pool and all this other stuff. And so we're expecting to be put up at this really nice resort. One of the emails I got from the guy is, your hotel is okay. So I'm like, okay, we're all set for this Riga hotel. Well, we pull in, and the taxi cab takes us to this OK Hotel.
It's called OK? The OK Hotel?
And it's a little hostel, little tiny, like, dinky hotel. It's got no air conditioning, and which I didn't think Latvia, which is near Russia, I think it would get hot. It was brutally hot. No AC. So everybody's complaining to me because I'm the one that set the whole thing up. So I go down, and these people are like, you know, a medic, and they didn't realize, you know, they don't have central air. You know, they don't have central air. There's a lot of differences in, you know, different type of countries. And we get there, and we found out that what had happened was that the Polish team, who was the defending champ, they got put up in the real nice hotel. And they had changed their whole roster. Because you had to submit your roster, and we were supposed to do team weight class. And each team had to weigh, it was roughly like a 200 average per team. So it was like 1,100 pounds per team. And so they had sent the roster in, but then they flew in and they said, look, we're just going to leave if we can't do what we wanted to. We got a brand new team. So apparently, instead of having weights, we had no weigh-in. Okay? Polish team is gigantic. Literally looks like guys from the WWF or guys from, like, you know, the NFL.
Back in the 80s, WWF. You know, the Jets.
Yeah. They look like, you know, the Undertaker. I mean, these guys are big. And I mean, I'm at the time of probably about 240, and I'm looking at these guys, and I would have been the tiny guy on the Polish team. So,
and you were probably the biggest guy on the American team.
I was the second. It was me and another guy, and everybody else was tiny on the U.S. team. So we get there, and then these guys from the Polish team get in the ring, and they've got these, like, the neoprene masks with the skeletons on them. And I'm like, all right, these guys are going to take these things off, right? And they're not. They're fighting this other team. We're watching them fighting this other team. And these guys are wearing these masks. And it didn't. And not till after the fights are over, we had a thing where actually all the teams get together and we're all having beers and stuff, which is kind of funny. We just beat the shit out of each other. We're all hanging out and drinking and eating. It was great. And and I asked one of the guys, "Why are those guys wearing masks?" He goes, "Oh, they're wanted by the law."
By Interpol, right?
They're war crimes. It was like some kind of So like
they're assassins for each team.
These guys knew they were going to be filmed, so they weren't. The only way they were fighting was with these masks on. So like made all these demands, and these guys were literally like their team average was like 270. I mean, it was like these gigantic guys.
Jesus, you know, I gotta say this, John Shaddock, because you know I was on, you know, Scott Dance and Kamal Shallarus, the show that they have, the Fighters Drinking Coffee show. I was their first guest on that show, and I was talking about you, and I mean this as a compliment, but you know, John Shaddock, I'm not a spring chicken by any means. I'm in my 40s. You're almost 50 years old. Now, this is the summer vacation for John Shaddock. I mean, most of us are like Chevy Chase vacation. We're taking the family across country to Wally World. You know, we're going down maybe to Walt Disney in Orlando. You're going over to Eastern Europe to fight in the team fighting championships. I mean, John Shaddock, I gotta tell you, man, not only I admire you, but I gotta tell you, you are one unique individual.
And the kicker on that is, I don't know if you remember what was going on in the world back then, but literally right before we left the week, like literally like a few days before they left, that plane got shot down over the Ukraine. And we're flying, oh my God! And we're flying out to Latvia. So I'm like, great. Yeah.
John, it's insane, but I mean, you have that competitive fire, and it's funny. You know, I was talking to Glenn Devon, who was a guest on our Billy Wicks tribute show before. We called Kyle, and he had called me, and he wanted to thank me for being on the show, and we were talking about just wrestling, you know, amateur wrestling and grappling tournaments, and MMA and Suns fighting and MMA. And we both kind of said the same thing. We said, you know, you get older and you really don't have that competitive fire anymore. I mean, I kind of lost mine in my mid-30s. And here you have John Shaddock. John Shaddock approaching his 50th birthday. His summer vacation, he's going to Eastern Europe to fight in the team fighting championships, which is so incredibly dangerous. It's something that's so dangerous that UFC fighters are scared of it. John, you are in a league of your own as a combat sports athlete, my friend. You're in a league of your own. That is awesome. And, you know, I've got to ask you, if you could pick one opponent for your retirement fight, who would it be?
Again, Roy Jones Jr., we talked about that. And the other one would be Kimbo Slice. And I think I could take him. But that would be, you know, age appropriate. I wouldn't fight anybody, obviously younger guys. I'd get wiped out just on.
Well, Kimbo's no spring chicken, but he's not an old guy.
I'm saying.
You know,
he's not
an old guy. He's still 40, 41. He's not a kid. But I mean, the competitive fire that you have, and I think that what we need to do with the Arena Sports Network, and I'm going to say it right now. We are going to create a campaign with UR Fight, and I've been working with UR Fight, the first one to get advertisers. We're going to create a campaign to get Roy Jones Jr. to fight John, the original Bones Shaddock. It's going to be Bones versus Jones. And we're gonna create that campaign around the entire network. I'm gonna talk to our producer Brian Snow, and we are gonna focus on that. We're gonna focus on making it happen. I'm gonna talk to the Beast and Severn, and we're gonna try to make that happen. John, what do you think about that?
Yeah, cool. I work.
We're gonna do it. We are gonna do it because, you know, when I think about it, there is no one better, and I told you this when we were, John and I were talking a lot about getting John to fight Roy Jones Jr. There is nobody better to fight Roy Jones Jr. than you. And we talked a lot about it, and they ended up just picking some random guy. I can't even remember who the guy was. But the thing about John Shaddock that you guys need to know is he is an amazing promoter. Not only is he a great fighter, not only is he a great coach, he knows how to promote. I mean, he promoted a Warrior Island show, which I don't know if we should even talk about that. I hosted that. I had James Jefferson, as one of our guests on the show. He was one of the catalysts to promote that show. John was
the number one U.S. vote getter.
Yeah, I mean, he got the most votes in that, and that was a show that was done by the votes. And when we had James Jefferson on a few weeks ago, we talked to him about that, and he said that he guaranteed us that the show would be picked up by a network. And I believe James Jefferson. I've worked for him in the past hosting, but John was the man. John got the votes. And I want to close the show by asking you about the Shield program. It's a new program you have at Shaddock MMA. and it's focused on defense, self-defense.
Yeah, what we've done is I've had quite a few people, and particularly women, ask me about doing the self-defense seminars. In fact, I've had people call in, and I've never done it before. But first of all, SHIELD stands for Shaddock. Shaddock's hand-to-hand instruction, effective life-saving defense. What I've done is take all the different styles of martial arts and put them together in a real simplistic self-defense program that you can apply right away. It's a lot of the stuff, and I've looked at stuff online and stuff, and seen a lot of the programs are pretty foofy. They have a lot of extra things involved that you don't need. I think you need to be direct, especially if you have somebody coming at you with a knife or with a gun or with a stick or with their fist. You don't have time to sit there and go, okay, what's step 1, step 2, step 3? You need something that's direct to the point. You have to set the weapon and go from there. What's really cool is I have a real good friend that's with the police force, actually trains the cadets in gun disarmament. And him and I actually, on Friday, spent the day and went over some gun disarmament. So he was really hands-on with me and showed me some stuff that helped me to be able to learn that as a cop would, instead of as a martial artist would, but as an officer would, because an officer has a couple of seconds. You know, they don't have a lot of, you can't do fancy moves. It's got to be very direct and very quick. And just stuff like holding out to the top of the gun so the guy can't rechamber another bullet. You know, things that an officer would know, which is really cool. So I've taken not only martial arts, but I've also put police tactics in there to make it a really unique, really cool self-defense system that's very quick and very easy to learn. And I'm doing a 3-hour seminar, and I'm trying to get small groups of 8 women. And what I'm saying is, instead of, do this before you go out for drinks, do it instead of doing a Tupperware party, do a self-defense party. So you get together with the girls.
I love that idea. I love that idea. And I'm going to tell a funny story when you talk about Tupperware parties. A young lady that I went to high school with was putting on her Facebook, and you all could probably help me with the name of this guy. He was a big star of Beverly Hills 90210, and I know John might know this name. He was the blonde guy on Beverly Hills 90210.
The guy from Sharknado, right?
Yes, exactly, from Sharknado. Ian Ziering, you got it. Bingo, Ian Ziering. So this goes back. This is back about 5 years before he was a Sharknado guy. When his career was kind of in a lull, I guess, because I'll tell you why. So they're in Connecticut, and of course, I'm from the great state of Connecticut, from the Gold Coast, from Farfield County, and this girl Carolyn, she married something like, she I believe was in Greenwich, and they had their guests for their Tupperware party for her and all her girlfriends, and this was like the host of her Tupperware party. Okay, so he's going from being 90210 to now Sharknado. Was Ian Ziering. He was literally hosting the Tupperware party at this home in Greenwich, Connecticut. So I thought that was kind of a funny aside to that. But the SHIELD program sounds great. It sounds amazing. John, everything you do is great. I've known you for years. You're great on the mat. You've got great hands, great boxer. But beyond that, you're a great businessman and a great guy. And I want to give you the floor right now to tell our audience where they can find John Shaddock on the World Wide Web.
www.shaddock, MMASHADDOCK, I am on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, You can look up the company, Shaddock MMA, or you can look up John Shaddock. And contact me if you're interested in anything. Right now, really kind of pushing the self-defense program. I think it's a great program. And it's something we can come to you. It's not something that you don't have to do at the gym. I can come to your business. It's a great team-building exercise as well. If you get a small company and you want to work on some stuff and you live in kind of a crappy neighborhood, so to speak, a great way to get everybody to interact and keep your employees safe.
Excellent. Sounds great, John. And before we go, just one quick note. Is Gary involved in any capacity in this new SHIELD program?
Gary is not.
Okay, well, that's all I wanted to know. That's all I want to know. John Shaddock, everybody, thanks for being on the show, the original Bones, and thank you all for tuning in to King's Court. Have a great evening.
All right, man. Thank you.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Good morning.
It's time to wake up.
This is Snowman in the Morning, and it begins now.
Oh, somebody got his head knocked off!
Down!
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! Are you kidding me?
Hey, y'all! Wake up with a Snowman every weekday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. And as always, thank you very much. At South Lake Body Auto Shop at 7991 Clay Street in Maryville, Indiana, we have a full-service mechanic repair shop for all makes and models of cars and trucks. At the same location, we have a body shop in which we do body repair and paint work on semis, as well as all makes and models of cars and trucks. Our hours are 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and Saturday from 8 to 3. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-947-9900. That's 219-947-9900 or visit SouthLakeBodyAutoSales.com.
Let me tell you about American Grappler Wrestling and MMA Outfitters. American Grappler makes shirts that honor the American wrestling and combat sports tradition unlike any other brand on the market today. And I'm going to tell you a little personal story. American Grappler just did a tribute shirt to my coach, my mentor, one of my best friends, the legendary Billy Wicks, who just passed on. And all of the profits of this shirt are going to Billy Wicks' family. That's what kind of a brand this is. They are not just an advertiser on the King's Court. They are not just an advertiser on the Arena Sports Network. They have become family. And let me tell you something else about American Grappler. Their shirts are of the finest quality. I've been training in these shirts and wearing them proudly for years. Support American wrestling heritage. Go to AmericanGrappler.us today. You'll be happy you did.
You don't need 4 letters to tell you who the future will be. You just need one place. Arena Sportsnet, bringing the spotlight back to the student athlete. Yes, that just happened.